Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate.
CMPRadio.net. It's the station. CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
What's up, everybody, man? We want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. Let's go. Chester Cultural Arts and Technology Center. That's the CAT Center. Mecca, Mosley Early Childhood Consulting and Advising. KC Electrical Services. Mind Our Own Businesses. LeBron Construction. Northern Marketing and Design. Pressure Inc., the Boys and Girls Club of Chester, Paragon Charisma, and Chester Community Charter School. Listen, they're sponsors. You too can be a sponsor. Hit us up at info, that's INFO, at cmpradio.net, and let's see how we can build this relationship even further. It's cmpradio.net. You already know it's the
cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester.
Small city, big dreams. Nothing's up as big as it seems, so dream on. Small city, big dreams. Nothing's up as big as it seems, so keep going. You only get one life to live. You only get one life. You only get one life to live. You only get one life. The bird is back. You might have never heard of that. Harrisburg's finest, 717. Shout out to my birthplace. Experience life scenarios. The worst case, Chester City. What's going on? CMP is the station. Yes. You already know what it is. What's good, Melly Way? What's good? How are you? How are you doing, man? Thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate it. Chester City, what's good? You already know who it is. This is your man, Bornleader. And I'm the host of Holds the Whole podcast on CMP Radio. CMP Radio, cultivating mature positivity, consistently making progress. Chester made products. My goodness, man. Changing media's perspective. You already know what that entails, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many different, narratives, right? See, a lot of people be placing narratives and labels and trying to box people in, right? Come on now. See, don't get me started already. See, I'm just getting started on here. You know what I'm saying? Like the show we ain't even in 5 minutes and already you got something bubbling up. Already you got something coming out. This is what I'm talking about. This is Holds the Whole podcast. This is a podcast like no other. It's many podcasts out there. Don't get it twisted. It's many podcasts. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, it's many good podcasts too. It's great podcasts, you know what I mean? It's podcasts that's way greater than this. I ain't saying this is, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, this is a podcast like no other. You know what I mean? Woo! Shout out to Uncle P. Leslie, what's good? What's good, man? Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come on here and just, thank you for giving me the platform. Thank you for giving me the opportunity just to come on and just, kind of share some things that I've learned, that I've experienced, that I've learned, that I was taught, that I was instructed by over time throughout my life. And really, well, hold on. Let me go back to the point that I was making before. Many people be trying to stereotype, right? You know what I mean? Stereotype and label and categorize people. You know what I mean? And trying to place their narrative or try to place their opinion, right? And try to place their come on, man.
Come on. You see, we already starting. You know what I mean? This is holes to hole. That encompasses a journey, right? That encompasses going from emptiness to fulfillment, right? That encompasses going from unhappiness and loss to being found and discovered who you are, the truth of you, the truth of purpose, the truth of love, the truth of God, the truth of everything. Don't get me started on here. This is Bornleader. But stereotype, categorize, label, define. Don't ever let nobody place their definitions or their opinion on you. You know what I mean? And let me say something real quick though too. You know what I mean? Let me say something real quick. And oh my goodness. This is one of the dimensions. Oh man. You see, we shift in dimensions, right? Holes to hole, right? What is that about? That's about going from one dimension to the next. My goodness. That's about going from one dimension or one element or one percentage or one capacity or oh my goodness. One, you know what I mean? One percentage, capacity, element, dimension of you. And we're going on a journey that's going to encompass you and prepare you for the real you. That's happiness. That's wholeness. That's love. That's purpose. That's what I'm talking about. Don't get me started already. You already know who I am and what this is. Chester City. Yo, listen. The next time somebody say something about, oh, there ain't nothing happening in Chester, there ain't too much going on, you know, it's a wasteland, it's barren, you know what I'm saying? It's a wasteland, it's barren, there ain't nothing going on there. What good could come out of Chester? Well, let me tell you something right here on CMP Radio. Bornleader comes out of Chester. Don't get me started on here. This is excitement. This is fulfillment. This is destiny. This is life. This is peace. This is joy straight from Chester. And guess what? We're going to shift this. We're going to shift this excitement and shift this inspiration that's in me. I'm going to touch the city. My goodness. Not because I'm powerful enough to do that, because I ain't nobody. I'm somebody. Don't get me wrong. I'm somebody, but I ain't nobody. Man. Hold on real quick. How you gonna be nobody but somebody? That's something for another episode. That's another thing. I ain't even gonna get into that. You figure that out. But listen, I ain't even powerful enough to even do that. But guess what? You know, this life that's in me and this love that's in me, this wholeness that's in me, this fulfillment that's in me, this purpose that's in me, this mission that's in me, this is not by my own power anyway. This is not by my own power. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. But don't ever let nobody define and place their opinions on you, place their fears on you, right? You know what I'm saying? Yo, don't let nobody place their definitions on you. Well, from me looking at Bornleader on CMP Radio, he really looks to be this kind of guy. Come on, man, don't place nothing on me. You don't know me. Man. Why do people place their opinions or their perspectives or their perception, right? See, oh my goodness. See, I just mentioned that I'm shifting you to another dimension. I'm shifting you to another percentage. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. Ain't none of us perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. We're all being shifted. So tell me why. Why is it a common practice? Why is it a customary practice for people to place their definitions, narratives, and opinions on you? Because if that's the case, people basically are only placing a percentage of themselves on you. Right? But you're not the whole. You're not a whole either. You're not whole. So how you going hold me up and you ain't whole? Oh my gosh. think life, oh my goodness, I think life is full of people that try to hold you up, right? They try to hold you up when they ain't whole. Come on, man. And listen, some people might say that's what I'm doing. I'm not though. I'm not. I'm just sharing. I'm sharing my life, right? This is me sharing my life, right? This is what happened to me. I'm just sharing my story. I'm sharing my testimony. And whoever my testimony and my story, right? This life and this journey of going from holes to more whole, right? Or a certain percentage of me to now a larger percentage of me, the real me, not the false me, but the real me. You see, there's a false you. There's a false you living on the inside. And that is so paramount to you understanding what this podcast is. See, there's a false identity. There's a false you that lives on the inside of each one of us. And this false self, this false identity has been shaped by other people's opinions and narratives and what your environment says and how you grew up and how much your parents think you're going to do and other people's opinions of you. And then going through all life, you really start believing this stuff. You'll hear it over and over. What good comes out of Chester? He ain't going to be nobody. He never going to amount to nothing. And then over time, this thing begins to affect you deeply, and then you really start believing this stuff, and then you won't chase your dreams because you didn't let somebody else define who you gonna be. You can't define me no more. I'm God defined, not human defined. Do not get me started. Chester City, what's good? Whew, my goodness, what's good? Man, but anyway, as you can see, man, I'm excited, man. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm living life. I'm loving life. Yo, shout out to my Sixers, man. Shout out to my Sixers who won last night. You know, we needed that. We needed that win, baby. We needed that win. You know, Miami took care of home. We took care of home. Somebody got to somebody got to win on the road, though, baby. You know what I mean? Somebody going to have to. You know what I mean? Listen, somebody gonna have to go into an uncomfortable environment and an uncomfortable atmosphere, right? And shift some things. You know what I mean? Listen, that's a good segue too. That's a good segue into shifting dimensions part 2. That's a great segue. I did not plan that. Trust me. Yo, I did not plan that. Yo, no lie, yo, no lie. Sometimes, or most times, should I say, most times when I come on here and, and share different things, it's crazy, right? It's crazy because, like, I know what I be like, I know what I'm talking about, but like, the things that I bring out are so, like, layered, like, multi-layered, that, like, sometimes, like, I might share like the first layer on here, but then when I leave and I'll rewatch an episode or just whatever, God would give me like the deeper layer, and then I'll be like, I didn't even know I was saying that. I mean, like, I knew I was saying the first layer, but I didn't know that encompassed the second and I'm like, yo, what the heck? But anyway, so. Sixer game. I ain't playing that segue. I ain't playing that. But listen, somebody gonna have to go into an uncomfortable atmosphere and shift some things. Right? That's the only, listen. That's the only way you gonna win. The only way the Sixers is gonna win the series is if somebody go away, right? And somebody go on the road and put some work in. That's the only way somebody gonna move to the next, oh my God. That's the only way you gonna move to the next dimension. That's the only way you gonna move to the next round. Oh my God. Do you got another round Is there another round in you? Is there another dimension in you? Is there another series in you? Come on now. Woo! So the only way anybody going to win is if somebody go into the next dimension. Go into an uncomfortable dimension and win. So listen, the only way you gonna win in life, the only way you gonna win in life and move to the next phase and move to the next layer. Oh, what is your next layer of life? Come on now. Simple question. What is the next dimension for you? What is your next layer? What is your next round of? In other words, what I'm saying is, what is your next season of life? What season of life are you in right now? Where are you at? Oh my gosh. Where are you at on a road of life? Come on. Do you know where you at? Do you know where you at on a road of life? Do you know what season you in? Right? Do you know who you competing against? Who is your opponent? My gosh. Come on now, don't get me started on here. But anyway, man, holds the whole podcast, man. Such a blessing, such a blessing. Once again, shout out to my Sixers, man. We needed that. We took care of home. Now we got to go on the road and shift some things. And listen, man, shifting dimensions, right? Shifting dimensions. So I had an episode on here before, you know. Of course, you see Shifting Dimensions Part 2. So we had Shifting Dimensions Part 1, and that was just a phenomenal episode. If you missed Shifting Dimensions Part 1, you can always go anywhere. Like, you can go back, I think, in like CMP Facebook stream and type in Bornleader Shifting Dimensions, or you know, you can go anywhere podcast or heard, type in Holds the Whole Podcast, Shifting Dimensions, whatever you want to do. But Shifting Dimensions 1 was a powerful episode, and I was just like, man, I just gotta come back with a second one because it's layers, right? It's layers, right? Dimensions represents layers, right? It's different layers to you. It's different layers to life. It's different layers to this thing. It's multi-dimensional. Man. Yo, listen. Oh my goodness. Whenever you talk about something being multi-layered or multi-dimensional, oh my gosh, man. Like, whenever you talk about something being multi-dimensional, see, that's a complex thing, right? That's a complicated complex. That's not simple, right? You know what I mean? There ain't nothing simple. There ain't nothing easy about something being multi-dimensional. Like, it's many layers to that, right? It's many lessons in that. It's many elements in that. It's many components in that. Come on now, don't get me started. And what this podcast and what I'm here doing and what this podcast reflects and represents is that a part of who I am and what I do is I'm charged with kind of like outlining these layers and shifting you into a higher dimension or a higher layer. Now, and that's a complex thing. That's a complicated thing, right? And this episode, me going with Shifting Dimensions Part 2, this really I got the idea because I was talking to my kids the other day, right? So I was talking to my two oldest, who ironically, listen, I did not plan this. I'm telling you, like, ridiculous stuff. But Shifted Dimensions Part 1, I had my two oldest children on here. And so that was Part 1. And then the other day, I'm talking to them, like the same two children, my two oldest. I'm talking to them, and I got the idea for Part 2. But anyway, so I was talking to them, right? And like I was talking to them, and basically what happened, I had came in a house, right? Like I was running some errands, right? And I came in a house, and when I came in, they were kind of just, they were like just sitting there kind of like, like they were just sitting there doing whatever, like sitting there chilling. You know what I mean? So I walk in the house, and like, it was stuff that I expected to be done that wasn't done, right? Like, so it was things that I expected to be shifted that weren't shifted. Have you ever expected somebody to move something or to do something, and but when you survey the atmosphere, it ain't done? You know what I mean? How you going to have expectations? You know what I'm saying? It's like you charge people to move and shift and do something while you going, but yet when you come back, ain't nothing moved, ain't nothing done, ain't nothing shifted. Oh, man. Leslie, what's good, Leslie? That was just a shout out to Leslie, y'all. I'm happy. I'm happy just shouting people out. But anyway. So, I was out running errands, so I expected my children to move and shift things and do things that I expected. So I got back and it wasn't done. So I'm like, so I kind of look at them, right? I look at my two oldest, and I'm like, basically, what y'all was doing when I was out? Like, what you been doing? And they kind of look at me like, well, Dad, it's Saturday. It's Saturday, and we a little tired, and we was just chilling. I'm like, hold on, wait. Time out. Listen, I know y'all be going to school during the week. I know y'all got things going on. I know sometimes people get tired. We human. I get tired. I'm busy. I do a couple different things. I do things here and there. I'll be tired. I know how, you know what I'm saying? And so, I understand you having a long week, and then like the weekend come, and it's kind of just like, man, had a long week of this, long week of work, long week of school. Listen, I need to chill. I ain't gonna do too much today. You know what I'm saying? And so now check this out. When I was talking to them, though, I'm like, yo, you gotta understand. I feel what you're saying. I'm like, kids, I feel what you're saying. But you gotta understand, right, that's a system that you're in, right? You know what I mean? So they were like, what? I was like, that's a system that you in. You see, it's different systems in place. Oh my gosh, man. Listen very carefully to where I'm going. I'm going somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm journeying to wholeness. Are you coming with me, or are you going to stay where you at? It don't matter. Listen, let me say this very important point real quick. It don't matter. It don't matter where you at on the road of life. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you, it don't matter. It don't matter if you coming with me on this journey or you not coming with me. Let me tell you something right here. You going get there. You know what I'm saying? You going to get there whether it's with me or whether it's with somebody else. Oh my God. Now that's powerful right there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm a leader. I'm a leader of people, right? I'm a leader of people, but hey, let's face it. I'm not the leader of everybody. I'm not everybody's leader, right? I'm not everybody's leader. I lead a few people. I lead some people. I'm not everybody's leader. So listen, so you may not, oh my goodness, you may not come with me. You may not be with me on this journey, but I guarantee you going, oh my gosh, you either going, somebody else going to get you there though. It may not be me, but you going to get there because it's God's plan for your life. And whatever God has planned and purposed, it will be done because it started in the divine supernatural and it's going to manifest in the natural at some point in time. See, that's one of the key layers that I'm trying to get you to understand on here, right? That's one of the key dimensions of Holds the Whole. You know what I mean? Now, it's many dimensions of holes to hole. It's many different like points of emphasis, right? But one of the main points of holes to hole of the journey that I just want you to understand is that everything starts off in the supernatural, right? Everything starts and ends with God. So if it's God's plan to take you, to meet you on a road of life at a certain point, he gonna take you from where you at to where he wants you at. That's gonna happen, not because I'm here shouting and hollering, but because it's already been started by him. So listen, so whether you coming with me and I'm your leader or whatever, or somebody else gonna lead you, it's gonna happen because it started with him. It didn't start with me. I'm just somebody he sent to lead a few people. Come on, don't get me started on here, man. Ah, man. But anyway, so listen, get back to my kids. So talking to my kids, man, and you know, they were just like, oh, so I said, don't you know that you in a system? It's many different systems in place, right? You know, it's many different systems in place. And when I begin to like talk to them, when I begin to talk to my kids, I found that like most of these world systems, like worldly systems, like the education system, the school system, education system, the system, how the world like flips it to where, you know what I mean? Like you work 5 days and off 2, you know what I mean? Like you work during the week and then you off 2 days and then you right back to it. That's a system, right? That's something that's systematic. Oh my gosh. That's a system. But I'm here to tell you this morning that it is the plan and purpose and will of the Lord. It is the plan and purpose of God to free you from world systems and get you back on God's system, his way and method and methodology of doing things. This is what wholeness is. This is what encompasses the journey. This is wholeness. You see, holes mean that you were in bondage to world systems. And you were struggling to get out. You was trying to get out and run and flee, and you knew it's something more to life than this. This can't be life. Somebody shout that. My goodness. This can't be life. It can't just be like this. My goodness. You were a part of a system. You know what I mean? The world system of doing things. So anyway, I'm talking to my kids. I'm like, yo, so you think because you go to school 5 days a week and then you off the weekend that gives you permission to like, oh, okay, so nothing gets done on Saturday and Sunday, right? So nothing gets done. Nothing gets shifted on Saturday and Sunday because I was working. I was working during the week. I was working Monday through Friday, Dad. I was going to school Monday through Friday. So I guess on the weekend, I'll just rest. But listen, let me tell you something about being shifted and about shifting dimensions. See, that encompasses doing the hard thing. You see, like that you gotta do stuff, you gotta shift stuff even when you don't feel like it. And that's where you begin to really grow and elevate and evolve. When you begin to do stuff when you don't even feel, it's like you doing stuff, you tired, but it's like, nah, this gotta get done, no. Let me fight against the system of tiredness and weariness and stress, my gosh, because I'm going somewhere. I'm trying to shift some things. And there is no way you can be shifted without getting uncomfortable and without uncomfortable things. You know what? See, this is one of the truths about pain right here. this is one of the truth. This is one of the deep truths about pain. Why in the world does God allow pain in our lives? Now, let me flex my philosophical muscles for just 1 second, right? Not that I'm a philosopher by any means. I ain't intelligent enough to be a philosopher. You know what I'm saying? But listen, let me flex my philosophical muscles. Why does God allow pain in our lives, right? You know what I'm saying? Listen, if God is all powerful, right? All knowing, all powerful, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Why does he allow pain in our lives? If he's powerful enough to stop it, why don't he stop it? Oh, if he's powerful enough, would you consider, well, that's if you believe in God or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying, if you do you believe that he's powerful enough to not allow stuff to happen? He is. But yet he still allows and permits things to happen. Now, why does he do that? Why does he allow that? Think about it like this, right? As somebody who's like an avid kind of workout person, I try to work out, try to keep myself looking like a little something, right? So as somebody who like lifts some weights and do a couple things, right? Come on. I'm going somewhere. I'm shifting dimensions right here. Come on now, stay with me. So listen, like as somebody who like lift weights and different things, like when I'm on the bench, like when I'm bench pressing, when I'm doing things, right? It's like, I'm bearing a heavy burden. I'm bearing a heavy weight, right? So it's like I'm bearing that pain. I'm bearing that weight that's on me, right? But the more that I shift, come on now. Oh, see, you gotta, whenever you encounter whenever you encounter a burden in your life, whenever you encounter a painful experience in your life, you gotta start looking at that like that's something that God allowed for me to flex, for me to like bench press this thing. Not that it's going to be easy to bear or easy to lift. It's going to be heavy. But listen, us as human beings, we are weak and flawed in many areas. This is good. As human beings, we are weak and we are flawed in many areas, right? Many areas. Now, some people know how to hide their areas a little bit better than others. You know what I'm saying? But we're all weak and we're all flawed in some kind of specific area. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, being honest and transparent, I was flawed. I was weak and I was flawed in my mental and emotional area and elements and dimensions. Oh my God. So listen, I was weak in the mental dimension. My goodness. You see, you got to understand, it's many different dimensions of you. It's many different compartments. It's many different components. Come on, man. God. Oh, man. I was flawed in the mental and emotional department, element, component, dimension of myself. Oh, man. And so I found, though, because we are human and because we are overcome by sin and overcome by the pain and hurt and different things, the holes that encompass us. Because we are overcome by these things, we become weak and we become flawed, and there is no way we can do anything to win or to overcome it or to get stronger. So why does God allow pain and burdens in our lives? Because it is just because you are weak and flawed, and he has to allow specific things that are in your dimension. Oh my gosh, your dimension of weakness. We all have dimensions of weakness, right? My dimension of weakness was mental. So guess what he had to allow? And guess what he allowed to come into my life and my experience and my headspace or airspace? My gosh. Guess what he allowed to come in? He allowed to come in things that would weigh heavily on my mental. My gosh. Now listen, I'm a mentally weak person. Not now. I'm saying before. So before I was a mentally weak person. And the only way to get stronger from being a mentally weak person is for God to allow stuff that bears and weighs and puts weight on your mental health. Well, that's not love, is it? Oh, that's love indeed. Oh, love had to allow something in your specific area that will help you refine and bear that thing and push it up. Now listen, now that weight might fall on you, but guess what? He gonna keep on allowing stuff until you pass. My gosh. Now you got somebody on here talking about the importance of mental health and emotional well-being and holistic health and different things of this nature, because that's what he allowed in my space to get me stronger for the purpose that he has for my life. So that's why he allows different things. Why does he allow? Because you're weak and flawed, and he has to allow specific things in your dimension that will make you stronger in that compartment, so you can help other people in your lifetime. My goodness, where in the world did that come from? I have no idea. Shifting dimensions. But I was talking about systems, and I'm almost drawn to a close here soon, but I was talking about systems and being caught in, you see, world systems of the world, right? Systems of the world. And this goes from the top down, right? From the top down. But different world systems, I believe, like the more I think about it, right? The more I think about it, different worldly systems are really designed, are designed in some form or fashion to bottle you up and box you in to keep you from shifting. So when I was talking to my kids about them being tired on a Saturday and me coming home to stuff not being done, and I'll walk in the house and they look tired and unmotivated and trying to chill, I'm like, hold on, what system are you in? You in a system that says it's okay to work 5 days and lay off 2. What system you in? Where was that written at? Who came up with that idea? Who you being influenced by? Who told you that? Whose voice you been listening to? Or you just following that because that's the regular thing to do? You better know and understand and recognize what voice you listening to and what system you in. What dimension are you in? My gosh. So, oh my goodness. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. So listen. You know what I mean? Now, when I was talking to my kids, and let me kind of end, let me draw to a close using this example right here. Because I was talking to my kids, right? And I seen it so clear. Like the Lord showed it to me so clear, right? It was like when I was talking to my kids, that was like the teaching lesson, right? Or the teaching example. but then he gave it to me in an object lesson. Ah, man. Now listen, that's real teaching right there. Because we got to understand, right? We got to understand, not everybody learns the same. Some people are, oh my goodness, some people are more visual learners. Oh, man. Some people are more visual learners. So you standing up talking the whole class, they may not get too much out of it because you gotta make it plain. You gotta give them a visual. You gotta give them an object lesson. My God. Has somebody ever given you an object lesson? Has somebody ever taught you by word, but then they taught you by experience? My gosh, man. You ever heard that saying, experience is the best teacher? I'm sure you have. Sometimes, most times we don't learn by, oh my gosh. Most times we don't learn by somebody talking. Most times we don't learn by somebody telling. We learn by experience. We learn by an object lesson. We learn visually. We don't learn, oh my God. Now, it's not saying you can't learn audibly. Some people do well, but not everybody's the same. Some people are more visual. My goodness, you gotta show them something. You can stand up there and talk all day. That don't mean they're gonna get it. So guess what? I got a word for oh my goodness. I got a word for teachers today. I got a word for leaders today. If you're, oh my gosh, you gotta be a multi-dimensional leader. You gotta be somebody that can communicate, but then you gotta show something. Oh my gosh. You keep on, you wonder why you can't get people to follow you. It's because you too one-dimensional. All you do is talk. Ah, man. That's all you be doing. Ooh. You can't, listen, you can't be one. That wasn't even part of the episode, man. But listen, a word for teachers, a word for leaders. If you want people to follow you, and if you truly are that, God has already and will equip you to not be one-dimensional. You gotta be a good communicator. Don't get it twisted. I ain't saying don't communicate and you gotta be a real good communicator. You gotta talk well. You gotta be able to break down some stuff, my gosh. But listen, but that's not the only way. You might have, oh my gosh, you might have followers that are more visual. I hear you talking, but you gotta show me something experientially. I'll learn better that way, my gosh. All right, I got something for you too. When I was talking to my kids, I gave them an audible lesson, but then I gave them a visual representation. And the visual lesson, and I'm closing, the visual lesson was in our house, in our kitchen, right? We got like, we don't really got that much like kitchen space. So we got like we got a kitchen table, and then we got like a lot of stuff underneath that like we store underneath the table on the kitchen floor. And so it's a bunch of stuff underneath this table in the kitchen, right? It's like, it's drinks and like juices and like, other stuff that we don't really use like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a storage space. So, but then, so I'm talking to my kids on Saturday, right? They're tired and unmotivated. But then I go in and I begin to move. I begin to like pick this stuff. I begin to shift things, right? I begin to shift all this stuff underneath this table that's always there and nobody ever move. And when I shifted all this stuff, it was a bunch of crap underneath this stuff that's underneath this table. Like, you ever had like a refrigerator in your home or something like that, and when you moved out, or when you moved the refrigerator, there was this deep dark stain that was under there, and it was under there because nobody ever shifted it. Nobody ever moved. Nobody ever felt like doing it because it was too heavy and it was too hard. I don't feel like moving this refrigerator. I'm gonna keep it right here until I have to. Oh my gosh. But I shifted this thing around. I shifted all this stuff, and there was a bunch of dust, debris, and other crap under here. And I brought my kids in, and I showed them, and I said, listen, if I would have never shifted, if I would have never moved this stuff under here, this stuff would grow. This stuff would grow and it would be dirty and dingy and nasty and all kind of crap. I'm like, somebody got to shift some things. And that means doing the hard thing. And sadly, most of us we just want it easy. But on our journey, on your journey and on our journey to wholeness, we gonna have to do the hard thing. We gonna have to do things sometimes when we don't feel like. If you wanna know or get to another dimension, if you wanna know or get to a higher level, you're gonna have to do something uncomfortable. You're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to put some things on an altar. You're going to have to do stuff you never did. You're going to have to do stuff that's hard for you. You're going to have to give up something that's hard for you to give up. You're going to have to fight against the tiredness calling. And I ain't saying don't rest. We all need rest and sleep, and we know how important that is for overall well-being. So rest and sleep easy. But I tell you what, though, get your rest and get your sleep. Don't ever say Bornleader told me not to sleep. That's a doggone lie. Get adequate rest and sleep. I'm telling you this right now, because if you don't do that, you're going to be all messed up. People talking about chasing their dreams and goals and I sleep when I'm dead. Okay, yeah, we gonna see about that. You better take care of yourself up in this piece. Bornleader told you first. You better take care of yourself, and I mean that. But I'm gonna say, when it comes to growth, maturity, evolution, and purpose, and going from wholes to whole, that's gonna take doing some uncomfortable stuff, some hard stuff, some stuff you don't feel like doing. Because it's all about moving and shifting and cleaning out the deep stuff that lurks within the soul of a man or woman. This is Hoes the Whole podcast on CMP Radio. I'm your host, Bornleader. Until next time, I'm shifting dimensions up in this piece. Chester City, what's good up in here? CMP.
It's Bornleader. Work hard, expect nothing, right? That's right. Ha. Time now, baby. Time now record. Hey. First things first, I put my old name, be easy in the dirt. That's that. 6 feet, we don't even need a hearse. Raised from the dead, so this is my rebirth. Bornleader, the new name, I'm better suited. Yeah. God gave me a gift and said you better use it. Yeah. And I did drop a classic LP 1 year previously, but expect to hear better music. Still repping time now to the end of time. Yes, running a good race.